And we are live. Good morning, crypto warriors, and welcome back to the Gym and the Crypto, episode 350. Today is Monday, February 25th, and I'm King.
And I'm Bitcoin Zay, and we're here to bridge the gap between cryptocurrency and the community, Monday through Friday at 10ish.
10ish.
Oh, yeah.
And today, a lot of interesting stories. We'll be covering Warren Buffett again. He's back in the news talking ever so gently about Bitcoin. We'll be covering the Buffett hack back in 2016, how the government is returning some of those. Derivatives giant Fidelity's in the news as they pass the lightning torch. Ukraine and they see in their CBDC, and of course South Korea's coin ban, which is filed for bankruptcy. But a little bit more on that story later. But first, do we have a cryptic coin winner?
Oh yeah, so our cryptic coin winner from last week is Leroy Forbes, our 2018 the Gentleman of Crypto Warrior of the Year. Actually, chimed in to talk about our question, which was about Brazilian banks and whether or not they think it would be a trend that they will convert some of their assets to tokens. He seemed to agree. He said, this is a good test ground in Brazil. I'm sure they'll be doing it in U.S. banks as well. So shout out to Leroy Forbes. We'll be sending those free cryptic coins to you Friday.
Thank you for that, Leroy.
Oh, yeah.
And good morning, Kevin Hodges. Who else we have? Tony Nolly, GOD TV, Tommy Brown, Dylan Darchinville, Tessa, Alpha Robbins. Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning.
Top story of the day, Warren Buffett back in the news. Warren Buffett is being quoted as saying Bitcoin is a delusion that attracts charlatans. That's right, Berkshire Hathaway CEO Warren Buffett defined Bitcoin as a delusion and said that it attracts charlatans, according to an interview with none other than CNBC, published today. What's new here other than Warren Buffett? It's like the old guy, I would say, yelling at the clouds again here.
Yeah, well, he basically proved how dumb he was on the subject, because he sounded like my 7-year-old nephew, when I tried to describe it to him, because here he says it's ingenious and blockchain is important, but Bitcoin has no unique value at all. It doesn't produce anything. You can stare at it all day and no little Bitcoins come out or anything like that. That is exactly what my 7-year-old nephew said when I described Bitcoin to him. And Warren Buffett, the 80-something-year-old lifetime investor, he just basically showed how dumb he is on this subject. He's really smart for what he does, but you have to stop listening to these people when it comes to cryptocurrency, because he literally said you can stare at it all day and no little Bitcoins come out. I don't even know what that means. But he also added, people get their hopes up that something like that is going to change their lives. And it's a very ingenious thing to figure out how to have a limited supply and make it harder and more expensive than to create as you go along. But that sort of thing, the function does not depend on Bitcoin. So one of the things I want people to understand is the only successful use case of blockchain right now is Bitcoin. And the only way to move money is Bitcoin. So when people say that blockchain, not Bitcoin, red flag, people. It has no clue what he's talking about.
It's weird that he says all this novel things from blockchain technology when it came out literally the exact same time as Bitcoin, the Bitcoin blockchain. So I'm not sure how he's saying nothing's coming out of it or anything. But not only that, I mean, again, this is Warren Buffett. We talked about him before. If it's your first time hearing our take on it, I mean, at the end of the day, Warren Buffett invested his dad's money back in like the 20s or 30s, all right? Yeah. Into companies like Pepsi, whoever. You're not just like that. You weren't a genius either, all right? You had some money when no one else did, and you invested it because your dad showed you how to. Yeah. Again, we mentioned before, I'm sure the 20s, I'm sure during that time of Jim Crow and all that stuff, that was even before that. Yeah. But I'm sure there are many other people who wish their fathers, who if they were alive, would just give them money and tell them to invest in Pepsi. So
had a chance. Right.
So he's not that bright of a guy to me personally. Just started before a lot of people. And now at this point is how can you miss? If you got multi-billion dollars to work with, you shouldn't be missing. Yeah. And even that begs the pardon where he missed the most ridiculous gains we've ever seen in the history of investing when it came to just Bitcoin or
technology.
He didn't buy any tech. he missed out on a lot of technological companies. So this isn't the guy you want to listen to when it comes to anything electronic.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, think about it like this: if you bought Bitcoin today, and 60 years from now, we saw Bitcoin go to wherever it's going, pegged against national currency. And people would look at you and say, hey, you were a genius for getting Bitcoin back in the day. When in reality, you literally just did something 60 years ago.
It made sense.
It made sense.
A lot of people talking about it. It seems like an investment. Throw some money into it.
So if you got, $10,000 at your disposal in 30s or 40s whenever he started, of course he looked smart buying companies that were already corporations. I mean, you can't see the future, but you can kind of see the corporations that are going to work. So shout out to Warren Buffett for once again reminding us, just because you know what you're talking about in the commodities market does not mean you know what you're talking about in crypto.
And with that, we're going to go ahead and give him that loud roar because he is our dinosaur of the day.
Give it to him.
I mean, this is what it sounds like when billionaires talk about assets that they don't care about. It makes no sense again.
Stop talking about it.
Listen, it's like me talking about my elementary school all the time. You know what I mean? Like, who cares? Like, what are you talking about, man? You want to go back to it? Why do you always talk about your elementary school? It makes no sense. This guy is literally just screaming about something that he claims he doesn't care about. This reminds me, this is the same thing Jamie the Dino Diamond was doing as well before he came back around and said I shouldn't say anything, and finally came back around and said JPM coin.
JPM coin.
So I don't think Warren Buffett will go that far and create his own coin, only because between him and Charlie Munger, I think that's his vice president, I think together these guys are like 190 years old, like not even being funny at this point, 170 something, I don't know. But between those two old dudes, I highly doubt they even know how to use a laptop or computer, much less come up with anything new. So,
Charlie Munger is on his 8th heart?
Right?
Man.
I love the Yahoo articles too that's always like Warren Buffett's secret stock tip to make you $2 million in less than a year, and it's like invest in Coca-Cola in 1985. It's like,
man.
All right, Warren, go. It's time for your nap, buddy.
Oh man, stop kidnapping kids from Southside Chicago and using their heart.
Hilarious. It's time for your nap, buddy.
Please go away.
United States government returns Bitcoin's retrieved following 2016 Bitfinex hack. Bitfinex has announced that some of the Bitcoin stolen in the major 2016 hack have been returned after they were retrieved by the U.S. government. But how? I thought Bitcoin and cryptocurrency was all anonymous, and the government, even though they keep selling it from people they bust, they clearly they don't know how to find it. I don't know. I mean, it's only for criminals, yet we know how to track it, so maybe it's not. What's going on here?
Oh, yeah. Well, it looks as though the U.S. government has returned a small amount of the money that was hacked in 2016. We're telling people it's 2016 all over again. Bitfinex was alerted that they were going to be getting the funds from the 2016 hack. In the August 2016 hack, there was a total of 119,756 Bitcoins stolen, which definitely shot the crypto market. It was on alert because for those who saw Mt. Gox, we were like, okay, well, this is happening all over again. However, the return funds represent only about 0.02% of the total taken in the hack. So I don't know if the Bitcoins that were hacked or if they were stolen, if they recovered them and they only gave them this amount, or if this is the only amount that could be recovered. Their recovery strategy, which came out 3 years ago almost, the money was converted to dollars and it was paid out in their recovery right token. So, outside of the obvious, they got hacked, they got money taken. At the very least, I mean, the U.S. government owns Bitcoin. Like, if anybody, comes around, saying how Bitcoin is this, it can't be used for international stuff, we have some. We just don't. I don't know how much Bitcoin they have or what wallets they have, but the fact that they were able to return it based on a hack, it actually shows the progression of the market, because 3 years ago, this wasn't possible. There was no insurance funds. There was no real way to receive your money. It was the Wild West. So that is exactly what happened with Bitfinex, and they're happy to get the small amount back that they get, but 116,000, you can't really replace that once you get hacked. So shout out to the U.S. government for owning Bitcoin and legitimizing it further. Appreciate you.
It looks like they're crediting Bitfinex tokens, BFS tokens, to customers at a ratio of 1 BFX to every dollar stolen. Let's see. It said within 8 months of the security breach, all BFS token holders had their tokens redeemed at 100 cents on the dollar or exchanged their tokens for directly or indirectly shares of the capital stock of iFinex Incorporated. All Bitfinex tokens were destroyed within the process, Bitfinex said in Monday's post. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of like they're creating derivatives on top of derivatives, like crypto derivatives on top of crypto derivatives, to try to get people their money back. So they're kind of diluting it, but of course, I'm sure this is in hopes the market turns around so that it can be worth something. People can sell it off. And
this might be a good signal that the market is bottoming out, because I have an inkling that if the U.S. government is going to return Bitcoin in cash, that they're going to try and get at the lowest cash amount possible. and this price point is around the lowest price possible, I believe, in this actual swing. So this may be a signal for that. Also, people in the U.S. can't even be on Bitfinex. I'm still confused about this because they just kicked off all U.S. citizens a year or two ago, and then now they're returning the money. So I guess if you have BFX tokens, if you're a holder from before, you can receive them. But if not, maybe you just out of them if you're from the U.S. So that's interesting to see. I'll have to read more into that. But if you can't be on it, you're from the U.S. and we still have Bitcoins, very interesting. We are working internationally, I can tell you that.
Derivatives giant Fidelity Investments receive and passes on the lightning torch. You heard it, people. We covered the lightning torch a few weeks ago about how it's becoming a phenomenon, especially through our crypto Twitter, everyone using the lightning nodes to pass the torch along. And then, of course, Jack Dorsey from Twitter, their founder, jumped on it as well and decided to pass the torch. And now we have financial derivatives giant Fidelity Investments, which has received and passed the lightning torch as revealed by a tweet by the company, which sent it on February 22nd. That is pretty cool right now.
Oh, yeah, definitely the hottest thing going in the crypto market right now. Some of the people who have actually received this torch include Fidelity, of course, but they actually passed the torch to the Harvard School Blockchain and Crypto Club in the wake of its upcoming dedicated conference. It was also held by Jack Dorsey's grandmother at one point at the beginning of the month, and it's basically being passed to everybody except citizens in sanctioned countries, because I remember somebody brought this up this weekend. They were saying, yeah, it's great, institutions are passing it, Fidelity's name is getting in there, Jack Dorsey, cool, but why hasn't anybody sent it to somebody in Iran? Is anybody gonna send it to somebody in Venezuela? That's really what the Lightning Network was built for. So there is a pushback
now if you don't want to go to U.S. prison,
yeah, exactly.
If you don't want to go to Gitmo.
Yeah, so that is interesting to see that pushback from the crypto community as it goes mainstream, so to say. So Fidelity is definitely on board, I can tell you that right now. And any other platform that's going to have crypto is going to be on board with Lightning if Jack Dorsey is. So shout out to that. Glad to see the community moving. Still
looks
moving.
like Wiz had passed it at Wiz, passed it to them. I wasn't sure if that was actually the Wiz, whatever. The Wix. I was saying Wix. But one thing I would love to point out with Fidelity, to their Twitter name, as you see, their group name is Fidelity Digital Assets. I know another digital assets group that's had that name for like 3 or 4 years now, but hey, like we said, this is what we're going to be up against in the future. So it's pretty interesting to see that as well. And I'm actually mad they got at digital assets on their Twitter. We did not think about that part.
Yeah, they definitely purchased that name.
Right. Oh, yeah, that is true.
Not around.
Right. All right. Well, shout out to Fidelity and way to get in on the lightning torch. It's pretty cool to see. And of course, great artwork by Cointelegraph as always. All right, we're heading on over to Ukraine as they complete their pilot scheme. I love the word scheme for this too. For their and excuse me, I haven't been to Eastern Europe yet, so I'm pronounced this wrong, but their Hrivnia. I'm not sure the H is silent. Here, Hryvnia. Hrivnia.
The E hyena.
Anybody from the Ukraine or Eastern Europe that can put that in the YouTube pronunciation chat box, we appreciate it. But they complete their pilot scheme for their national digital currency. Ukraine's central bank has completed a pilot scheme for its national digital currency. The word I can't pronounce again. Local press agency Interfax Ukraine reported on February 22nd. The National Bank of Ukraine, NBU, which has been considering the concept for at least a year. That's right. They took a whole year to develop this, people. You know it's going to be an amazing product. Began the pilot in December of 2018. The head of its payment networks and innovative growth department revealed. It looks like that same head quoted saying, at the end of last year, we began a practical pilot when the instrument was released for NBU employees under current methodology in order to assess its practical use aspects and the ability of the central bank to realize future projects, as well as getting feedback from users. They quote him as saying, one thing to pay attention to here, this is not a cryptocurrency. This is a central bank digital currency.
Make sure that.
In another way of saying that, it is literally what they have right now. How else could you launch a new currency in December of 2018 and basically say you split tested it 8 weeks later? Not even a full 8, you know what I mean? So we're going into March here. So literally like 2.5 months later, they're saying this thing is up and running. You know why they're able to do that? Is because the central bank digital currency, the blockchain they're using, is everything they're using right now, except it's just literally a more efficient database. They're using an internal database, except this one speeds up transactions even more, and they can't hide the fact that it costs less now that the word's getting out, the cat's out of the bag.
Yeah, you can't have them fees no more.
But other than that, they're not doing anything different. They're literally just saying all we're going to do, or all we're planning on doing, is whatever you have in your bank account right now, literally not doing anything that interface, but just saying it's on our private blockchain.
Yeah,
which will in turn save them more money, not you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Tony Nolly said Rivnia. All right, so we got it. Rivnia.
Oh, Rivnia.
All
right, thank you.
Yeah, so shout out.
I would never have got that, but I was right. The H was silent.
Yeah, I was gonna say that H looked out of place.
Rivnia.
But shout out to Ukraine, because I actually like when these countries put out these digital currencies or have the announcement that they're going to put them out, because when people who have never heard of cryptocurrency or who haven't paid attention to it, they sort of mix them up. They think, well, if that is a digital currency, then what's cryptocurrency? And then they see there's a difference. There's literally a difference. I mean, I was talking to somebody the other day who had never used cryptocurrency before. I brought up stable coins and CBDCs, and they were like, well, that's what we have now. Right. And when they said that, I was like, yeah, so basically they're trying to fool people into thinking, digital currency is our idea, we can use it, and regular people, they think regular people are going to fall for it. But I actually have an inkling. Most people know that is garbage, it's hot basura, and they are not going for it. So cryptocurrencies will actually, I think, come out on top, because these banks and countries are going to eat themselves. They are reactionary, they're not innovative. I mean, we're about 5 steps ahead right now in the digital currency game. They're just now getting tests and getting split tests going. So I'm glad to see this actually happen.
I would say, no, I actually think that in the short term, people are going to fall for the banana and tailpipe. Mm-hmm. You can't, I don't think at this point, especially seeing the mainstream news cycle, people are going to fall for big banks and the untruths of. Mm-hmm. But one thing the same guy from this bank did point out here again, they're saying we are not talking about a cryptocurrency, we are talking about a central bank digital currency. It can be implemented with both the technology of a centralized registry and a decentralized one. Key word, it can be. Doesn't mean it will be, because it makes no sense. They're saying it can be implemented with both the tech of a centralized registry and a decentralized one. It's not possible.
No.
I mean, I get what they're saying. They're saying if we were to turn this into a cryptocurrency, whatever, then of course we can use a decentralized technology or decentralized blockchain. We can do many things that we're not going to. We can not charge you all $35 a fee or $40 a fee every time you have a late fee, but we're going to do it anyway. So it's one of those things where I think it's misleading. Again, they're trying to make sure they bring in their main clientele base to throw around those novel new words like central bank digital currency and how this technology and the registry is going to be different. But at the end of the day, it's another currency that the bank controls that they're trying to push out mainstream to this population. So same old. But you got to pay attention to this, because they're the test bed, of course, and depending on how well it works for them, we might see that pop up in other countries. Yeah,
Ukraine and Venezuela, 2 countries affiliated with Russia. So yeah, could see it coming in a big country soon.
Russia is like, you guys test it out, let us know.
Yeah, y'all feel, and then we'll
we'll do it the right way. South Korea's Coinbin files for bankruptcy with $26 million loss, cites employees embezzlement. Wow, what is going on with Coinbin?
Man, they owe over $30 million. This South Korean exchange, Coinbin. They acquired Ubit in 2017, and they're closing their operations as a result of an embezzlement from a senior executive. This was actually reported from Business Korea. They stated, we are preparing to file for bankruptcy due to a rise in debt following an employee's embezzlement. And one of the things about these companies, when they lose money or if there's a hack, usually embezzlement doesn't come up, or somebody at the top stealing it, even though that's more than likely what happens most of the time. So at least they have something out where it's a criminal case.
I ain't going to jail for him.
Yeah, I ain't going. Yeah, he took it. Where he at? So, the executive known as Lee, which is like how are we gonna find somebody just named Lee? Right. He reportedly appropriated the private keys of several hundred Bitcoin wallets while claiming to lose the key for Ethereum wallet containing 100 Ethereum.
I don't know where it's at. My bad, y'all.
Hey, man.
Ernest & Young has it.
Yeah, exactly. And the total funds missing is about $26 million, of which $2 million is reported as lost, which is coming on the heels of the Quadriga CX scandal. And we've had a couple other, we've had plenty of other exchanges lose money. But this is a actual criminal case, because if he embezzled it, I want to know where he's at, if they can find him. What's going on? Is he arrested? There wasn't
not
much
finding nobody in
information.
South Korea just named Lee.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, good luck.
That's why I said there's no information around this guy. So good luck. I don't know how they hired him and don't have any background information, but maybe he just hit the countryside and never to be seen from again. He might pop up in another country one day. But yeah, it looks like that money's gone, Coinbin. So sorry about that. But 26 million is gone, and you have no recourse. Maybe you should have got some insurance from BitGo.
It says here as well, according to the available information, the figure in charge, the so-called Lee, was actually serving as a CEO of Ubit, which ceased to exist in December 2017 after 2 major hacks made operations no longer possible. So this is an executive, or I mean, come on, this is all day an inside job. An executive on the Coinbin team, I'm assuming he was a very high executive that had access to the funds, who was also the CEO of Ubit, you know, is basically involved with another hack. Ubit, when it went out of, when operations ceased, basically they just rebranded to Coinbin, but when operations ceased in December 2017, Bitcoin hit $20,000, right? And 2 major hacks happened.
Yep.
Come on, from the same exchange, they shut down, rebrand as Coinbin, same deal, 26 more million. So
they just shuffling in.
Literally, you might be looking at 50+ million from this one guy and his exchanges here. This is crazy. And this is one of the things where we say it's important to follow some of these people with these companies, because they will literally just get, you know, they'll hack, scam, do whatever, get lost in the mix for 6 to 8 months, and then come back out with a brand new product, pushing it like, hey, I'm the greatest. I've been here since day one. You all need to know about this new exchange or coin. Push this marketing plan out. You got all the noobs who come in and definitely want to jump on the next big Bitcoin. This is the next Bitcoin here. And next thing you know, 6, 7 months later, I'm gone again. Like literally, this guy did 3 hacks from his own business.
Keep it going, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And somebody said, Crypto Q said that's him dancing in rural China. If you saw that video, the guy breakdancing in the water with his family behind him, jumping up and down like the Wii characters. He was saying that's Lee breakdancing. Yeah, if you get away with 24 million, you can keep shuffling it.
The third time.
And all they know about you is your name is Lee. I mean, good gracious. I mean, they don't have a picture or.
Oh, it's more information.
There's got to be more information.
But what it is, he took 26 million. I'm sure. Listen, this is his third go round. All right, he's not new to this. He's true to this.
He's a veteran.
Everybody got a meal real quick. He probably walked home with 18 million. He gave away 6 or 7, whatever. Hey, if that's what it takes to keep an anonymous name, then that's what it takes. But this guy knows what he's doing. I mean, literally, this is his third one. The last thing I want to see is like another week or 2, Coinbin gets bought out, and then next thing you know, like 8 months from now, whatever his new name is, gets cracked again by another insider exec. It's like, all right, here we go. This thing is, you talk about passing the torch.
Bucket.
They're passing the hat torch. I mean, people are just getting tore up over here.
Yeah, they're getting torched. That's what's happening to them. But yeah, I think this is kind of orchestrated, and since it's not that much information, you know, about it, I'm pretty sure they won't find this dude. So shout out to Lee for getting away with
in the win.
Oh yeah.
No shout out. Somebody find him and break his. And I'm just kidding. I'm not kidding. This dude getting away with 26 million on hacks. All right. For the free crypto coin day, what are we doing?
Oh yeah. So for the free crypto coin, we talked about Fidelity having the Lightning Network torch. Who do you think it should be passed to next? Should it be more mainstream? Should it focus on countries that have sanctions? Should it be regular, everyday people like us? Let us know what you think about the Lightning Network torch. Put your crypto coin address, and we'll send those free coins on Friday.
As always, thanks for watching, and we'll be sure to see you all tomorrow. Cheers.
Have a good one.
And I am messing this up.